Black Sabbath isn't a doom metal band, but honestly, no band back then was really that heavy. But during the 80s, speed dominated the metal landscape. Subgenres like thrash and death dominated the charts, and doom wasn't even on the radar. It just wasn't a fan favorite, if we're being honest. So metalheads, without any further delay, this is the Big Four of doom metal. Black Sabbath, psychedelic rock, and Judas Priest seemed to be merged into one. Their use of slow tempos, which was unconventional for those times, set this band apart, and something else also made them estranged in metal. Formed in 1981 by guitarist Bruce Franklin, their band was different from the current metal landscape. They vouched not to go for a satanic route at a time when so many sought to shock people. Trouble was different. They were known for heavy riffs, slow tempos, and their biblical references heard in the band's first few albums. But as heavy as Trouble could be, the band was soon to lose some fans after recording with Rick Rubin for Deaf American Records in the year 1990. Manic Frustration was an experimental album with lots of psychedelic stuff involved. It was their official departure from a distinct sound that they had. According to Wikipedia, the album sold about 100,000 copies. But all in all, this is not even their worst. It just so happens that it was so drastically different from their previous album. Maybe they are known for being the Motorhead of stoner rock and sludge metal in the sense that they were there before grunge, Nirvana, and stoner rock. With Manic and Plastic Green Head, which had a few covers from the Beatles and the Monkees, their sound grew closer to bands like Monster Magnet, Fu Manchu, and others after 1990. In the year 1984, Candlemass released an album that just kick-started epic doom. Epicus Doomicus Metallicus was a game-changer, despite the band having a bit of a revolving door when it came to band members, with Mats Map Bjorkman being the most consistent member. Now, many people will point you towards Epicus Doomicus Metallicus and Nightfall as the must-listens of the band, and that is true. Those are their flagship songs. But their third album, Ancient Dreams, is just as important. It barely gets as much love as the first two albums, and that's a damn shame because it's where Candlemass evolves on new levels of epic. They've got this knack for blending creepy riffs with big epic moments that just blow you out. They locked down at mixing dark qualities with their dramatic style. The guitar solos in Ancient Dreams are a standout too, reminiscent of Yngwie Malmsteen if he took it down a notch and kept it a bit more classy. But their debut album is the very reason why Candlemass became a force in the doom metal landscape. Solitude is quintessential to doom metal and is a classic of the genre. The album has several songs that you must listen to that evoke a sense of doom that just feels timeless, as if the genre has existed since the 1700s.
This is one for everybody who went to the bar tonight.
Never achieving any sort of real mainstream success, These Doom legends are arguably the sole reason why your favorite Doom band even exists. Saint Vitus pioneered the style in so many ways. In the early 1980s, Saint Vitus was signed to Black Flag's SST Records. But unfortunately, they went right over everybody's head because they played slow compared to everybody else at the time. But Saint Vitus was fundamental for the development of anything heavy and slow. With Black Sabbath as the backbone of their inspiration, the band's third album really set them apart. Born Too Late has become something of a staple in today's doom metal climate. Also, the album introduced Scott "Wino" Weinrich for the very first time. Wino's deep and mournful style added depth to the dark themes of substance abuse laid out on the band's record. Lastly, Saint Vitus made a comeback in May of 2019 with the release of Saint Vitus. With Scott Riegers from back in the day, the band delivered an utter filth of an album, just like the good old days. It's got the same raw stuff from before because that band doesn't give a damn about appealing to the masses. In the same year that Seventh Star by Black Sabbath was released, sinister tales of erotic mysticism were long overdue. Pentagram released its debut after 2 whole decades. Now, it wasn't because the band was struggling to record material, it was because, well, shit happens, and for some strange reason, it happened to them consistently. Relentless was released in 1985. Songs like All Your Sins bring out the most important qualities of the band. There's something unique to Bobby Liebling's vocals. It's not the most operatic style, but I really feel like the atmosphere of the band plus his eerie delivery plays a really big factor in their sound. The main riff in All Your Sins is like heavy horror doom, but with a hypnotizing feel to it. The Ghoul is another one of our favorites that spins for 5 minutes. I love this riff. It sounds like a heavy axe pendulum stalking the listener. This might be my second favorite album though, because there's another one I like even more. Pentagram is such an underrated band for the entire metal landscape. A lot of people really sleep on Pentagram when they should be up there with the pioneering bands like Iron Maiden and Motorhead, and I really mean that. Released in 1987, Day of Reckoning was the band's second studio album. But if you're asking us, Review Your Choices is one of their best works. Forever My Queen makes its second appearance with an alternative take. And this is the thing you need to understand about Pentagram. They have a lot of albums. Forever My Queen was first released in 1998 in Human Hurricane, which is just the third of 8 compilation tapes in total since 1993. These tapes all consist of unreleased material before and after Relentless. So in between albums, the band just kept pressing record, even though not all of the tracks made it to official albums. Good thing they kept the tapes. So really, there's plenty of Pentagram to choose to listen to. Start with Review Your Choices or Relentless and let us know what you think. That's it for this video. Let us know how you feel about this list and check out the video on your screen for more metal. Like always, stay heavy.